Hey friends, That Gaming Author here, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Trails of Cold Steel. In the last episode, we dove into the old schoolhouse, made progress, and met up with a few of our classmates, and also got introduced to some of them. In this episode, we'll be continuing our dungeon dive, but first I'd like to show what I did. Off camera, I said I wanted to grind up to level 7, but I was leveling up so fast, I decided, you know what, let's take the extra mile and get everyone up to level 8. So that's exactly where we're at now. Everyone has quadruple digit HP, which is always nice to see. And last time Gaia said this way was the way to the exit. So that means we want to go this way, because chances are there's probably some treasure down here. So let's lure this feisty flying feline our direction. There we go. Smack it in the side, and we're good to go. So,
my turn.
We also learned some new crafts in the process of grinding. Reen here learned to motivate. It increases everyone's CP by 10 and buffs everyone's strength. Pretty useful. We don't really need it right now since these fights are freaking easy, but it's nice to have.
My turn.
Elliot learned Blue Lullaby. This is the AoE I was thinking of, I was thinking of Machias' AoE, but now Elliot has one too, and it's really helpful. So since these guys are lined up, I figured why not go with Gaius's kill everything attack, because it's always nice. Also, something I haven't mentioned about this game yet is that once you reach a certain level above the enemies you're fighting...
Oh, what a nice looking treasure chest.
Oh, I'm surprised you saw that around the corner, Machias. I didn't even notice it yet. But once you reach a level above the enemies you're fighting, you're going to start gradually getting less and less XP from the fights. So it's the game's means of sort of telling you, hey, maybe slow down a little bit on the fights and chill. So Rain is far from the ideal healer, but Elliot already has tears, so I'm not even going to bother giving it to him. So yeah, if you look at the enemies here, they are all level 4, and we are well above them. We are exactly double their level, so we're not even worrying about fighting those guys at all at this point. Anyway, we found that treasure. We have a nice little spell now, at least for Reen. We're going to basically make Reen a Dragon Quest protagonist, so he can use like a little bit of both types of magic, but mostly he's going to be doing physical attacking anyway. It's just more in case our healer can't actually do anything.
There.
Yeah. So we're supposed to use arts against these guys, but we're so high level that we're able to just attack them physically, so
we did it.
don't even need to expend the EP on them. I think we're actually getting close to the exit of the dungeon. That's kind of why I wanted to start here.
What's wrong?
More monsters?
No, not monsters. It's...
You're pretty sharp.
Oh.
It's the silver-haired girl.
I'm glad to see you're all right. Though it looks like there was nothing to worry about in the first place.
Nope. I'm small and quick. These things can't lay a finger on me. Oh yeah, Fee Clausel. That's my name. You're just halfway through. Keep it up. Later.
Hey, wait!
Are you sure you'll be okay on your own?
I'll be fine. I'm used to this. See you at the end.
What just happened?
Wow.
She certainly wasn't fibbing about being quick on her feet. I guess we really don't need to worry about her.
Yeah, now I'm more convinced than ever that she knows exactly what she's doing. Just over halfway through? Has she already been to the exit and then come back?
Just over halfway through, so we are pretty close to the exit then. We can check the mini-map, but that's no fun. It's more fun to just explore these things on your own. That's something I have trouble with a lot of RPGs. I have the tendency to just focus on getting to where I have to go and just looking at the mini-map the whole time instead of admiring just how awesome the game itself looks. Like, despite this game's graphical appearance, I actually adore the art style, as well as the way the scenery is, like all the different dungeons and everything. I honestly enjoy all of this. I mean, this isn't one of my favorite video game series of all time, if not my absolute favorite video game series of all time for nothing. I feel like I don't really have the right to say that yet, as I've only played a few of the... I've only played the first two Trails in the Sky games, and even then I haven't beaten second chapter yet.
My turn.
And I've only beaten the first two Trails of Cold Steel games, so I feel like I still have a long way to go before I can go declaring this as my favorite video game series of all time or whatever. But for the time being, I will at least say that these are absolutely some of my favorite RPGs in general.
Is everybody
It's
okay?
just, they're so good. The characters are also, well, I mean, we can get into the characters another time. I'm not sure how you guys will feel about the characters that you've seen so far. I know that people's first impressions... Oh, cutscene.
Do you hear that?
Someone's fighting up ahead. Come on!
Rain!
Wait for me!
Incredible.
That was really something.
Judging by that display, I don't think he needs any help from us. I take it that's another school of Imperial swordsmanship?
Right. That's court fencing, an agile style favored by the nobility. And judging by his poise, he's no amateur.
Did you need something?
Sorry, I was just admiring your swordsmanship. I'm Binge Borzer. I didn't get the chance to introduce myself earlier.
I'm Elliot Craig.
Guys Warzel, nice to meet you.
I believe I have already introduced myself, but once again, I'm Eustace Albarea. And I have to say, I didn't think you had it in you. I'm impressed.
What are you talking about?
After all that bluster about finding your way to the exit alone, I wasn't expecting you to actually rely on others for help. I assume you came to your senses shortly after you stormed off, and then wandered back to apologize like a good boy. Truly, the virtue of the common man. Why, a preening noble such as myself would be far too proud to do such a thing.
What the hell is your problem? You nobles really are all the same. So full of yourselves, it's a wonder you don't pop. And you're not just a garden variety noble either. House Albarea is one of the highest ranking in the country. I'll bet you just love looking down on us less fortunate souls, don't you?
You're one to talk. I don't need a lecture in rank from the son of the Imperial Governor.
Wait, what?
Oh, I thought the name Regnitz sounded familiar.
Karl Regnitz, the first commoner ever to hold the seat of Imperial Governor in Heimdall. The first to rule the capital. And this headstrong young lad just so happens to be a chip off that old block. Pretty rarefied air for a simple commoner, don't you think?
What does that have to do with anything? Yes, my father is the Imperial Governor, but he earned that position through years of hard, honest work. Don't you go lumping him in with you nepotists who get your titles handed to you just for being born.
Perish the thought. No, I mainly just regard your father as a reformist, and a close friend of the Chancellor at that. And as you're vividly aware, his faction is in conflict with the noble faction, led by none other than the four great houses. When you look at it that way, your vitriolic disdain for the nobility suddenly seems rather cheap, wouldn't you say?
Son of a...
Magius, don't do it!
I know he's taunting you, but lashing out at him isn't going to solve anything. And Eustace, don't you think that was a little uncalled for?
I wasn't the one who started this.
Let me... Damn it! Let me go already! Sorry, okay? Just... leave me alone for a while. You guys should just go on ahead with him.
Oh.
I think you went a little too far, Eustace. Being at odds with Machias is one thing, but dragging his father into it is pretty low. You're better than that.
Perhaps I was a bit out of line. It would seem I still have much to learn.
Huh?
You look shocked. Why?
Well, you're the son of Duke Elberea, right? I wasn't expecting the son of a noble, but he was wrong. Wait, no, that came out wrong. I'm sorry.
There's no need to address me so formally. We may come from different social spheres, but here at this academy, we're supposed to be on equal standing. Or so the idea goes, anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yes, I'm with you all the way there.
Is class really that big a deal here in the Empire?
It is. This country has a long history, and the class system has been one of its central institutions for most of that. So what are you going to do, Eustace? Machias said to go with you, but I don't want to press you into coming along if you don't want to.
I was intending to press on to the exit by myself, but I'd prefer not to mimic the actions of his ilk, so I'll accompany you.
What? I'm just surprised we're worthy of your company. I mean, I'm looking forward to having you on the team.
Let's just go with that.
We should get moving then. Come on.
Alright, so unfortunately in the process of that, we've lost our AoE attacker, but we have a pretty good court fencer on our side, so that's nice. We'll get to see Eustace in action here.
The wind's behind us. Let's go!
So,
I'll handle this.
in all my experience of actually playing this game, I've never really tried to see what the other option would be to
Here we go!
to reprimand Eustace instead of just stopping Machias from, hitting him or anything.
It's my turn.
So that's just the choice I've always played, just because it's the one that felt the most correct to me. Like, just from a moral standpoint. It's like, would have felt wrong to do anything else. Like,
Very well.
Eustace is being a pain, but you can't deny that Machias is the one who started the fight in the first place. So it's like, you don't want him to
Here we go!
cause any more trouble than he already was.
Alright.
Man, these guys are a little hardier than I expected.
Very well.
We're not just wiping everything out in one shot now, but you know what? That's okay.
Is everybody okay?
Is Eustace a little behind where we're at? Okay, yeah, he is. He's level 6. That's okay. We'll carry you, my boy.
He seems kind of imposing. I don't know how to break the ice.
We'll learn eventually, I'm sure. Although I'm sure after, being a commoner for so long, trying to interact with the noble probably feels weird. So I can understand where Elliot's coming from and why he might be a little strange about all of this. So yeah, in the country of Erebonia, nobility and commoners are quite a big thing. Not the case in the Burl, which is where Trails in the Sky takes place. They actually talk about how it used to be a thing, but they eventually got rid of the whole class system.
The wind's behind us. Let's go!
Which is a good idea. I don't understand why class systems exist, It makes no sense to me.
There!
But you know, whatever. To each their own, I suppose.
My turn.
And then, not really enough to do much. So actually, you know what? We'll just have him do a regular physical attack.
I'll handle this.
And then,
Leave it to me.
yeah, here we go. That's what I wanted to do.
Together, we're
That ability
unbeatable.
deals some pretty good damage, to be honest. I rather like it. Alright, anything around here? Oh. It would seem there's something over here. Being guarded by an enemy. Let's get its attention. Peek around the corner. There we go. Alright, we are good to go. Let's go ahead and destroy these guys.
Now's our chance.
Oh,
We
there are
can
only
do this.
two. I'm not even going to use
I'll handle
crafts
this.
here. We're just going to go ahead and attack them all physically.
Here we go.
Get the criticals, that's instant death on that guy right there. And just like that, the
Together,
battle is
we're
over.
unbeatable.
So you may have noticed, but there are like XP multipliers depending on how you finish the fight. So essentially, it's good to finish the fight as efficiently as possible. I'm not too worried about that though, but it helps when you're trying to grind. So if you have things that can wipe out enemies pretty quickly or deal a whole bunch of damage because you get an XP bonus overkill for, I think if you deal double the HP they had left or something like that. I can't remember the exact details, but I do know that you can gain quite a hefty not a hefty XP bonus, but just a decent XP bonus in general by getting enemies
Now's our
or
chance.
dealing
We can do
damage
this.
to multiple enemies or a lot of damage to multiple enemies.
There.
I'm not very eloquent right now because my brain's kind of elsewhere at the
turn.
moment, but not for long. I'll get back into the game zone pretty quickly.
Leave it to me.
I think I'm just focusing too much on other things right now, so my brain's a little scattered, but again,
Right.
not too big of an issue, and since there are 3 here, I feel like that'll justify using Blue Lullaby, which I believe is going to be the first time you guys are seeing it.
I'll handle this.
Well, how nice.
Here we go.
Alright, and then this guy. Oh,
It's my turn.
he didn't counter. Maybe these enemies just don't
We're
have like a...
unbeatable.
Maybe they have like a percentage-based counter rate. That's my assumption, at least. I don't truly know the reason for anything, but... You know what? Like I said, this Let's Play is just for showing off the story. I don't intend on
Wind's behind
taking a
us.
deep
Let's
dive
go.
into the game's mechanics or anything.
Here we go.
You know, these are weak boys. We can go ahead and just handle them with
Very well.
some real quick physical attacks.
It's my turn.
Eustace doesn't quite do enough to kill them in one hit yet,
My
but
turn.
that's okay. I'm not going to worry about grinding for
Is everybody
Eustace
okay?
anyway. I think he's fine at the level he's at. And I think he should be
There
okay
seems to
for
be
the
a treasure
upcoming
chest here.
battle. Okay, evade 1. Might as well give that to someone. So hang on, let's see, who has the lowest evasion? Oh, everyone starts at 0%, okay. So then let's see who has the lowest HP. You know what, yeah, let's go ahead and... Oh, he already has one. You know what, this works. He has a color-coded slot here, so we're gonna go ahead and give him that. It's a wind elemental, so it'll only fit in a wind elemental slot. Alright, moving onward. This should be the end of the dungeon, actually. We've made pretty fair progress this episode. I don't think we have any need of that, so let's just progress forward.
Hey, are we...
Looks like we are. That definitely seems to be the exit.
I can see the sunlight streaming in, so I'm guessing we're finally clear.
Ugh, this was a complete waste of time. Pointless busy work at best. Considering the school's esteemed founder, I was expecting more of a challenge, but nothing here posed even a modest threat.
Did we even fight the same enemies? I feel like I've been stretched to my limits. What was all that business about Class 7 anyway?
Good question. We've got people here from different backgrounds, classes, even cultures. Is there some sort of secret agenda with this whole Class 7 thing that we just don't know yet?
What was that?
There.
The statue?
What the heck is that?
A gargoyle come to life? What sorcery is this?
Are monsters like this common in the Empire?
Not outside of old wives' tales, they aren't.
This thing's cutting off our only route to the surface. No choice. We have to fight it.
Right.
Finally, an opponent worthy of my skill.
Hideos, help us.
This will take everything we have.
Alright, first official
My
boss
turn.
fight. Starting off, we are immediately going to apply a buff to everyone. Very important we do that starting
It's
off.
my turn.
Going to have him use a battle scope on the Igloot Garmer.
This.
Alright, oh, it seems to be weak against all elements. Its sturdy body repels physical attacks, so that would explain why.
Go.
Let's see, how long would it take for... Okay, so there's a bit of a delay. So we're going to go ahead and use Motivate,
do this.
increase everyone's strength.
I'll handle this. Very well.
And you will kind of have a delay no matter what you do. So for now, we're going to just do physical attacks here, while we have our strength buff, might as well. So this fight actually,
It's my turn.
in my first playthrough, this fight was actually quite a bit of a challenge, to be honest. I actually had a couple party members die on me during this fight, and that was my first indication that this game was definitely not going to be messing around. That's for sure. So we're not exactly dealing too much of a dent in its HP at the moment.
Arcus,
I have a feeling that we're going to
My
mostly
turn.
want to focus on using arts to damage it, actually. You know what? Let's go for Golden Spear. Why not? And we can't use any S-crafts right now. As you can see under their portraits on the bottom of the screen, there's like a little no sign there. There's usually a circle there indicating, like with flames or something inside. That usually indicates that you can use an S-craft. Normally,
My
we'd
turn.
be allowed to do that because we are
Arcus, activate.
all above 100 CP. But at the moment, we can't use them quite yet.
Go.
So right now, we just have to deal with using our arts to deal as much damage as we can. I'm thinking of having...
I'll handle this.
I'm thinking I'm gonna move Eustace over, have him join everyone else again. So that way Elliot can reapply the buff to everyone. Wait, whoops, wrong thing. Here we
Keep
go.
it up, everyone!
We certainly will try, Elliot, that's for sure. And since Gaius doesn't have a whole lot of EP, I'm gonna have him start dealing physical damage.
I'll handle this.
You know what, hang on, how much damage will this deal? Oh, it's paralyzed! So when you're paralyzed, you can't move or do a physical attack, which also means you can't use crafts either. So with that being the case, the only thing you can do is use arts. It looks like he's doing something. Oh, he just healed himself. And he's flying now. That's unfortunate. Oh, what's this gonna do? That's actually a fair amount of damage. That's quite unfortunate. Alright, yeah, let's reapply this buff real quick so we have HP regen renewed.
Here go.
And then, yeah, increase everyone's
All right,
strength.
let's do this.
I'll handle this.
Looks like Gaius gets the chance to deal critical
Leave it to me.
damage. It's pretty nice. Alright.
My turn.
Eustace, what will you do? Alright. he got a little bit of HP heal. That's nice. He should also get some HP regen in this turn, too. Yeah, look at that. He's back up to full now. Well, kind of jinxed it there. That's okay. Let's see. Elliot can heal, but I don't really see the need to do that right now. This guy's HP is pretty low. Might as well, since we're going to get to cast the art before him, might as well go ahead and cast one.
Go!
And his turn will be really delayed, so let's go ahead and use what we used our buffs for, and actually deal damage to him.
My turn.
We might kill him before Elliot gets that hit in. Oh no! Elliot's gonna deal the final blow. You'll love to see it. Also, this guy has way less HP than he does on any other difficulty. That's probably another thing the difficulty affects, because on normal mode, I think he has like 10,000 HP.
Oh, we did it!
Oh, our Master Quartz leveled up. So that increases the stat increases we get. We also learn more arts, abilities get updated, and we'll eventually learn new abilities. Yeah, let's see. Oh, he learned Tira. That's basically like a, if you're going by Final Fantasy rules, that's like Cura or Cure 2. And then Falco reached level 2. Nice. Look at all that Sepith, man. This is a great start.
Well, that should be the end of it.
No, it's down, but not out.
That's one hell of a second wind.
I can appreciate a certain degree of tenacity, but this thing needs to just die.
It's no use. We're too spent to go another round with it. Guess I have no choice. I'll have to.
Stand back!
You made it!
You've certainly got some good timing.
Seems like you're all okay, at least. I'm sorry we took so long.
You're here, and that's what counts.
So, a gargoyle, is it? I didn't expect to find the Dark Ages alive and well down here. It doesn't seem like it'll go down easily.
Indeed. It's brushing us off as though we barely even scratched it.
But with this many of us, if we can just find an opening...
Fine. I guess I'll help out.
Looks like you started the party without me.
You?
Releasing limiter. Take this! Big shot! An opening!
Go!
Now!
This one's mine! Ah!
We did it! I think that's the end of it.
At the very least, the creature doesn't seem like he'll be coming back for a rematch anytime soon.
What happened there anyway? Right at the end of the battle...
Now that you mention it, I did feel something wash over me for just a second there.
It was like each of us were engulfed in some faint blue light.
What?
I did notice something as we fought. Perhaps it was just the blur of combat, but I felt like I could see everyone's movements in precise detail.
I don't think it was just your imagination.
Agreed. I have a feeling what we just experienced was...
The biggest selling point of the almighty Arcus? Give this man a prize. Looks like friendship and teamwork saved the day once again. I'm so proud of you guys. Anyway, that about finishes up today's special orienteering exercise. Aw, what's with the long faces? I thought you'd all be happy.
What are we supposed to be happy about?
I have so many questions, I'm not even sure where to start.
Oh?
I'll take a stab at it. What exactly is the purpose behind this Class 7?
I mean, we get that it's supposed to be some sort of melting pot that includes a broad cross-section of people.
But why were the 9 of us chosen in particular?
That is a valid question. There's no single monolithic reason why you all made a list. But if I had to name a major contributing factor, it'd be those Arcus ornaments you've got there.
How so?
Well, like I explained earlier, the Arcus units are developed jointly by the Epstein Foundation and the Reinfer Company. Like any battle ornament, they let you use the arts, and these have communication functionality built right in. But their crowning feature is what's known as combat linking. That's the phenomenon you all experienced just now.
So that's what that was.
Seems like a pretty apt term. It did feel like we were all connected somehow.
Precisely. Doesn't take a genius to imagine how much of an advantage a feature like that would be on a real battlefield. An elite unit that can sense each other's movements, acting in perfect sync even in the most chaotic conditions. You can hardly put a price on that. It could bring about a revolution in the way wars are fought.
It does sound rather...
Idealistic.
Well, yeah, the technology has its limits. Some have a natural aptitude for it, others just don't. And out of this year's fresh batch of bright-eyed students, the 9 of you turned out to have the highest aptitude. And since aptitude trumps background in Class 7, well... here you are.
Gee,
But what gives us this aptitude, though, as compared to our peers? Just seems so random.
What indeed? As promised, if any of you have objections to being in this class, speak now, or forever hold your peace. I think that pretty much covers the hows and whys of your situation. But this program isn't cheap to run, so we're not about to force anyone into it if they don't want to be here. You should also be aware that Class 7's curriculum will be tougher than any other class's coursework. Just fair warning. So now you know, and that leaves you all with an important decision to make. Will you stick with Class 7 or not? Oh, if you opt out, you'll just be placed in the class you would have been assigned to otherwise. There's no pressure. Nobles will land in Class 1 or 2, commoners in 3, 4, or 5. It's still just the first day, so there's no real catching up you'd have to do. I'm sure you'd fit in just fine.
I'll do it. Whatever Class 7 has to throw at me, I'm game.
Oh, wait, what?
Just like that?
So you're the first then. You seem pretty sure about it. Any particular reason?
Not really. I just feel like I've put my family out asking them to send me to this school. So, if it gives me more to show for my time here, I'll take whatever opportunities come my way.
A noble sentiment.
Count me in as well. The greater the challenge, the more I can push myself to excel. One can't hone a blade without grit, after all.
Let's make it 3. Considering how far I came to attend this school, it'd be silly to back down before I even started.
Well, looks like we've got the country's strongest freshman on board, and our foreign exchange student, too. Any more takers?
Allow me to take part as well. I was only able to come because of the school's generosity, so I feel it's my duty to help in any way I can.
Sign me up too! I feel like fate brought us here for a reason, you know? And you all seem pretty easy to get along with.
And that's a yes from our 2 Orbital staff testers. Though I feel compelled to remind you, your weapons are still in the prototype stage. So on top of your other work, I'll be expecting reports from both of you.
Of course.
Maybe I spoke too soon.
Let me join too.
Huh?
Oh, there's a surprise. I was almost certain your rebellious streak would see you opt out just on general principle.
It does bother me that you got us using these Arcus units that are still pretty clearly in development. But if I let every little nitpick like that hold me back, I'd never amount to much.
Words to live by right there. And that brings us to an even 6. Now, what about you, Fee?
Don't really care either way. You can choose.
Not this time. This is one call you're gonna have to make for yourself. That was the deal, remember? You need to take control of your own life.
Fine, I'm in.
Well, at least you committed. We've got a magnificent 7 now. Which leaves just the 2 of you. I can see you got issues with each other, but that doesn't mean you can't at least try to work together. Why, if you just look past your differences and embrace the joys of youth, I'm sure you'll become the best of friends.
Like hell we will! The exploitation of the common people by the aristocracy is a blight on every facet of Erebonian life. Unless something is done about it, this country has no future!
I appreciate your candor, but I don't think you're going to achieve much by lecturing me about it.
Well, at least that makes this simple. I, Eustace Alberea, claim my place as a member of Class 7.
Huh?
Why? You're the son of a duke! Just the thought of being in the same class as commoners should make you sick!
I'll thank you not to tell me how I'm supposed to feel. As far as the House of Alberea is concerned, there's little difference between other nobles and commoners. Besides, this should at least ensure I won't have fools flitting about every day trying to win my favor. That said, I have little interest in getting drawn into your petty arguments on a daily basis either. I think it would be prudent for us to go our separate ways. I'm certain we can at least agree on this, no?
I don't need some pompous ass who coasts through life on his father's coattails telling me what to do. I'm in, come hell or high water. You might have had your successes spoon-fed to you up to now, but no outmoded class system is going to hand you trophies anymore.
We'll see about that.
They're going to be like this pretty much all year, aren't they?
Sure seems that way. I wouldn't bet on them ever seeing eye to eye.
Oh.
The pots shouldn't be too hard on the kettles.
Give a guy a break.
Well, how about that? 9 out of 9. With that, I'd like to congratulate all of you on being the first ever Class 7. I hope you keep those high spirits all year, because with the workload we've got planned for you, you'll need it.
Well, I wasn't expecting Class 7 to turn out quite as diverse as this. It certainly promises to be an interesting year.
You took the words right out of my mouth. But perhaps this too is the divine providence of the goddess, no?
How do you mean?
Seeing them there, I feel they have the potential to be the light we seek. A light that can break through the storm clouds that continue to build over our nation day by day.
Thank you guys so much for joining me for the beginning of this amazing game. I know you guys are going to love it. I hope you'll join me next time when we begin Chapter 1. I will see you guys then.